Happy Friday, everyone. How's it going today? Hope you had a good week. Hope you are ready for a nice weekend here. Hopefully, the weather's nice in your area. Just wanted to put a video together here Friday afternoon before people got to going out on their weekend stuff and all that. But hopefully, you had a good week and you got a nice weekend planned. I'm not so sure we have a ton of them, ahead of us, but nevertheless, enjoy the moment, right? I just got back from a nice walk. I've started to exercise a little bit every day now to increase my conditioning, or better my conditioning rather. And yes, I do it armed for sure. Always, wherever I go. But the video topic today is to just cut through the BS, get down to brass tacks, and talk about this big mirage that we're seeing. See, I'm a firm believer that we actually are already in a soft World War III, if you will. And mainly, apart from Ukraine and the threat to Eastern Europe directly, effectively we are in a economical World War III. As we all know, much of the world is powered by greed and those that purvey it. But I think things are much worse than they're being broadcasted to the world. First of all, this war on the petrodollar. You have world powers that produce oil, and lots of it, going against the petrodollar, which was, I think, instituted in 1971 or 72. As the world's currency for the purchase of oil products worldwide. So you've got the Saudis, the Iranians, the Russians, the Chinese, etc., who are pushing for an end to the petrodollar, if you will. And so when I say a soft World War III, that's where I'm sort of going, is the fact that economically we are already in a World War III action. And that applies to, everything from oil and petroleum to agricultural products to medications, pharmaceuticals, plastics, etc. I think that there is a movement to, one, destabilize the United States dollar and the United States while the window is open, if you will. They all know that this administration is weak and vulnerable, and they intend to exploit it, which I fully believe that they are going to do and are doing currently. The one thing I think that everybody needs to keep their eye on, and there's many things to keep your eye on, but specifically the one that really irks the hell out of me is this Iran deal, this JCPOA or JPCOA, whatever it is. The Iran deal, Iran nuclear deal. See, Iran is a hot zone. And I already think that they probably have the big one probably 3/4 of the way done, to be honest with you. And being that Israel changed administrations to a what I understand is to be a more liberal government, more liberal philosophy with regards to the Middle East enemies they have, I'm not so sure Israel will do anything about it. When Bibi was in there, I think that there was always an option that he could send them and level the place that they're doing all this in, these factories and stuff. But Iran is even getting bold and obviously launching their Scuds and this and that, and sort of lighting up the place, flexing their muscles, along with the NOCOs and everybody else, right? So you can see that the world is flexing, and all we seem to want to do is talk about money. Well, there is a lot of greed in the world, but not everybody's driven by money. Some people are just driven by power. And I know the two of those things, go hand in hand quite a bit. But Vlad has pretty well laid all his cards on the table. And everybody else is watching. So, what are the options here? Does he tuck tail and go home? Does he occupy Ukraine forever and stay bogged down in a guerrilla war forever? Or does he light it up? I think you have to look at the scenario which is mostly going to leave him with more power and more flexibility. And giving up and going home, I don't think is it. So I think this economical WW3 action is probably going to lead to further dangers and extreme consequences for a lot of different people. Unfortunately, we have amateurs in charge. I pray to God that there are members of the hierarchy within the United States military that are not woke and eye off the ball and are not asleep at the switch. I really hope that's the case. Now, he could pop off a nuke here or there. Tactical nukes are different than they used to be. They're more, precise and such, but nevertheless, it's still a nuke. So I would not leave that out of the realm of possibility at all. I think that there has been signs of him recently, him being Vladimir, that indicate he's preparing his people for something big. And I don't know that this government has the cojones to respond to a nuke, to be quite honest with you. I have that little faith in this government. I have really been disappointed with the level of politicization of the military brass from the Joint Chiefs on down as well. It's really pathetic and it's really dangerous. So I would not let my foot off the gas at all, people. I mean, people think just because it hasn't melted down yet that it's not going to melt down. And I think there's all these signs in front of us, in front of you, in front of me that we've seen that tend to get us closer to these scenarios that I've mentioned. Not that I'm mentioning anything that other people don't know already, but these are just my opinions. I would not let my foot off the gas at all when it comes to preps. I would try to be diligent and try to be frugal with what you purchase with those items. Don't get too overloaded or out of balance, if you will. Try to stay centered and balanced with your preps and all the different food groups that goes along with that. And again, I would pick 4 areas right now. If you're a seasoned prepper and you've probably pretty much got things under control, I would just pick 4 different areas, 3 to 4 areas that you can really focus in on, of things that are going to be, number 1, difficult to get in the future, most likely, and 2, things that you will consume. Okay? If you get overloaded on one particular thing, maybe you can put it in the barter pile or whatever. That way you know that you've got some barter items, and then also you're staying balanced. Reallocation, if you will. But anyway, the 4 areas that I'm focusing on are fuel, food, freedom seeds, and water. Those are the 4 that I'm focused on right now. And that's just, when I say freedom seeds, it's everything that goes along with that. 2A stuff, But I would seriously not let my foot off the gas, people. Okay? Take it serious. So with that, keep prepping, stack it deep, and long live the Republic.